What up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Valvoline, the original motor oil. And that shouldn't surprise you because we're recording from the Valvoline booth at SEMA all this week. Did you know that Valvoline is America's very first motor oil brand? For 150 years, they've been innovating, creating, and reinventing motor oil. From the very first high mileage to the first synthetic blend to the first racing oil, they've never stopped pursuing innovation to maximize engine life. And their latest innovation, extended protection full synthetic motor oil, provides 50% better wear protection than industry standards and is 10 times stronger against oil breakdown. Valvoline Extended Protection is specifically formulated with dual defense additive technology, which combines an innovative additive boosted with a fortified detergent system. You may not think that you're a severe driver, but short trips, towing, extreme temperatures, turbocharged engines, heavy loads, or spirited drives all put extra pressure on your engine. And people like Chris Forsberg, Rob Dahm, Freddie Tavares Hernandez, Speed Academy, Gears and Gasoline, Dustin Williams, and TJ Hunt all trust Valvoline in their cars. I love Valvoline because of their victories on the racetrack. Everything they've accomplished on the track gives me confidence that I'm putting high quality motor oil into my car. They've got a dedicated engine lab which allows them to run specialized and standardized engine tests right in their own facility, and they're the #1 supplier of EV battery fluids, offering tailored products to help extend vehicle range and efficiency. Valvoline is proud to be the official motor oil of Hendrick Motorsports, and Valvoline driver Kyle Larson was crowned the 2021 NASCAR Cup Regular Series champion with 9 wins and 2,000 laps led. So thanks to Valvoline for bringing us out to SEMA this week and giving us a booth to record from. And find Valvoline, ask for it by name at your local auto parts store. Oh man, dude, we are also sponsored by Vuori. This is brilliant. Why? Because in this particular situation, I found a product in a store, started buying it, started using it, and then talked about it on the podcast, and then you guys, the fans, got a hold of the Vuori people and said, Matt Farah is talking about your product. You should sponsor their show. And here they are, sponsoring the show. I talked about their products because I have been buying a shirt they make called the Strato, which is a t-shirt that is the single best moisture-wicking t-shirt I have ever worn. I literally bought 6 of them, and now that I've got a Vuori discount code, which I'll share with you guys, I'm going to buy a dozen more. I've basically stopped wearing all other t-shirts. Vuori is a new perspective on performance apparel. It's perfect if you're sick and tired of traditional workout gear. And this ad they gave me talks a lot about working out, and Vuori shirts are good for working out because of the moisture wicking thing, but honestly, I just wear them all the time. They're great, stylish t-shirts, and you could pair them with a blazer if you wanted that look. You could pair them with jeans when you go out. They really fit nicely. A bunch of folks asked me if they kind of misheard me. I said they were great for sweaty people, but they misheard me and said, what are the shirts that are good for big boys? And that's true and not true. They come up to a XXL and they fit. The fit is very true. It's a good fit. They don't have like 5XL, so I'm sorry about that. But if you're sweaty, if you are a sweaty person and you don't like the idea of appearing sweaty, these shirts are incredible when it comes to moisture wicking. They're also offsetting their carbon footprint 100%. They're reducing and offsetting 100% of their plastic footprint from 2019 and beyond, utilizing better sustainable materials for their products, which help empower your best active life. I'm not sure what those two have to do with each other, but nevertheless, they are good. The shirts and the pants are incredibly versatile and comfortable. Give them as a holiday gift for the sweaty person in your lifestyle. They're designed to look good in everyday life, perfect for working out. I wear them to Pilates class. I wear them on the elliptical machine, but I also wear them in the videos we make. I wear them when I'm just out and about. They are just my t-shirts now, and they're soft, they're thin, they are, and when it's hot out, oh man, the Vuori shirts are the best. They're super, super comfortable and incredibly moisture wicking. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. So get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet. And it's pronounced Vuori, but it's spelled Vuori. So VUORI.com/tire. Okay, VUORI.com/tire, and that will get you 20% off your first purchase, free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75, and free returns. So VUORI.com/tire and discover the versatility of Vuori. I'm so happy to have them here because I started by being a customer, and here they are. It's delightful. How about Stance? Stance Apparel is here. Also, all our friends and family only seem to want Stance Apparel for the holidays. You know, it used to be weird getting clothing as a gift from relatives you're never going to wear. Worse yet, socks and underwear. That was boring, but Stance has changed the game with their comfy, colorful gear. They sent us some socks, which I brought to SEMA to check out, and they are really nice. They got cool, fun colors. You can wear them with sneakers. You can wear them under a pair of slacks. You could even wear them with a suit, actually, because they're kind of like thin enough, and the weave is tight enough. They don't look like athletic socks. They look like a dress sock, but they could be an athletic sock also if you want. But like, it's hard for me to find socks because it's like it's somewhere in between like kitschy and corny, and then your standard black athletic sock or white athletic sock. But Stance has it. Great colors, great designs, creatively comfortable apparel that everyone can enjoy. Just go to stance.com and fill up your cart. They're guaranteed to make merry with quality comforts for you and your family. They made gift giving super simple this holiday season. Stance's premium line of socks, apparel, and more always comes correct with colorful constructions, innovative materials, and choice fits that are built to last. So, I got ones that have like cats on them. I got some really fun stuff, but there's also collaborations with the Goonies, Batman, Star Wars, The Office, Wu-Tang Clan, Bob Marley, Marvel, Major League Baseball, the NBA. All these companies and more and individuals have collaborations with Stance. So I really like the socks they sent me. They're very comfortable. You could wear them with any outfit. Quality seems very, very high so far. So Stance has the perfect gift for every punk and poet on your list. Go see for yourself. Head over to stance.com, just spelled just like it sounds, stance.com, and pick out some styles you think they might like. Enjoy the color and comfort of a life less ordinary with Stance. Last but certainly not least is Policy Genius, baby. Rethinking your home and auto insurance. Thanksgiving is coming up, and there is a lot to be thankful for, like the French onion stuffing I'm going to cook this year. Get that turkey order in early, folks, and consider if you're paying too much for home and auto insurance. And if you are, you could be. I mean, pretty much everyone should be thinking that, right? Everyone's like, God, this insurance bill stinks. Maybe Policy Genius can help. There's never a bad time to find ways to bundle your home and auto insurance and save with Policy Genius. Are they almost up for renewal? Time to renew those policies? Let Policy Genius find a lower rate for you. They make it easy to compare home and auto insurance in one place, helping you find home and auto coverage similar to what you have now, but at a lower price. They save customers an average of $1,250 a year over what they were paying for home and auto insurance. And Policy Genius's team will handle the paperwork to set up your new policy or switch over your current one. Getting started is super easy. Head over to policygenius.com/smokingtire and answer a few quick questions about yourself and your property. Then Policy Genius takes it from there, comparing rates from America's top top insurers from Progressive to Allstate to find your lowest quotes. Then the Policy Genius can look for ways to save you more money, including bundling your home and auto policies. If they find a better rate than what you're paying now, they'll switch you over for free. Their top-notch service has earned Policy Genius thousands of 5-star reviews across Trustpilot and Google. So head over to policygenius.com/smokingtire to get started right now. Policy Genius, when it comes to insurance, it's nice to get it right. All right, folks, on this episode of the podcast, my pals Chris Stewart and Shawn Fenton of Gridlife are in studio, in our SEMA studio, actually. Gridlife, if you've never heard of it, I've been a few times, it rules. It is a motorsports and music festival company. They have a series of regional motorsports events that are very up and coming, very cool, and they attract the youngest and most energetic audience of any motorsports event I've ever seen. Plus, they have a couple actual festivals a year. If you've ever seen the concept of Forza Horizon, where there's a car and music festival in the video game, they do this stuff in real life. They're very interesting people. The events are really cool. They're got great taste in music, great taste in cars. And in this episode, we're finding out how they got this institution off the ground, what the latest is with them, some of the ups and downs of their business model, and just talking cars and music with Chris Stewart and Shawn Fenton of Gridlife on the Smoking Tire Podcast.
Hey everyone, Zach here. Quick note about the audio on this show. We had a technical problem that arose around the 40-minute mark in this show, and there's some pops and crackles that show up on the recording. They end 60 minutes into the show, but there is 20 minutes where it sounds a little weird. I was not aware of it. I wasn't hearing it through my headphones that are connected to the mixer while we were doing the show, but it was definitely there in the finished product. I've ran this thing through Audition a bunch of different times and knocked that sound down as much as I can, but it's gonna get a little weird from 40 to 60. After that, smooth sailing. So appreciate your patience on this. We are appreciative of Shawn and Chris spending the time to talk to us about their amazing event, Gridlife. We recommend everybody attend. It is so much fun, and we hope you get a lot of good information and entertainment out of this show. So, without further ado, here is Shawn and Chris from Gridlife.
This is the show.
We're going?
This is it. Valvoline booth. SEMA. It's happening.
We're here.
Half the people are wearing masks in this bitch.
Yeah, about half.
Thank God I got boosted, baby.
Nice.
Ready to go. Chris Stewart, Shawn Fenton from Gridlife. Welcome.
Thank you.
I read your last name off your name tag. That's very nicely presentable.
You're very smooth.
Yeah, that was good.
I was really
snuck
impressed.
it in there. Really snuck it in there. This is our first portable show in 20 months. So the guys at Valvoline invited us to do this, and although I've been to 5 Gridlifes, at least four, maybe even 5.
Pretty early days too. So 2016, I think you got in the
16
mix.
through 19 is the ones I went to.
Yep.
And I had Austin and I had Adam Jabay on the show, but never Chris, who was the founder of the event, and the person I have the least amount of time to talk to when I go down there.
Right. Yeah,
You're
I'm usually
always
the
like-
one running around. I think
Yeah.
I remember Atlanta at 19, I saw you down in the pits, and it was I was floating in a bunch of things that I was solving, and you're like, how's it going? And I was like,
That's okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And that's usually how it is. Oh, nice to see you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure how to respond. It's in those moments sometimes when it's all firing, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, you're considering, does he really want to know how it's going?
Do you really want to know?
I don't really want to know.
No, I don't. You're right. No, he's totally right. I don't. I just like when people will talk to me, how's it going? They just want me to say good and then move on with the conversation.
Yeah.
But from the audience, because fundamentally I'm an audience member when I'm there.
Right.
It's always been a very good time. Especially the smaller tracks, Gingerman.
Yep.
With Atlanta, it was cool because driving a race car at Road Atlanta is cool.
Right.
But if you got 10,000 people at Road Atlanta versus 6 at Gingerman, Gingerman feels like it's got 20,000.
Right.
It's
all about like containing and amplifying energy.
Right.
And Road Atlanta's a difficult place to do that.
Yeah, the camping is more spread out.
Yep. It's got like tree divisions and elevation.
That giant fucking hill.
Yep. Yes, that giant hill.
Nobody
Lots
wants
of those.
to walk
Everyone's
up the giant-
tired. It's hot. It's definitely like Road Atlanta was a challenging event to do. For a lot of different reasons, but like that's one of them for sure.
Yeah.
It's like
huge.
when we look at facilities, like I think at this point we've gotten to the point where we realize that bucket list tracks are a part of the ingredient of the stew, but it's not the most important ingredient.
No, especially because for every person who brings their track day car, there's 4 people who pitch a tent and want to listen to music.
That's right.
And so you kind of have to find that balance.
Yep, totally. And I think at this point too, like we're coming up on season 8, or maybe season 9. Are we entering season 9? I forget. It's all a blur.
It's like Walking Dead at this point.
Yeah, it's like
November,
it's Walking
so you're
Dead.
probably not entering a season.
Right. No, but like we're next year I think is year 8. At this point, like it's a community, right? So like it's not about where, it's about who, and what,
Is it is like were you actually inspired by the Forza Horizon game, or was that
no?
just in
they
parallel?
like it kind of happened at the
people
same.
are like, what's Gridlife? I'm like, the Forza Horizon festival. It's that with humans.
It happened at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So like Gridlife was being conceptually built, and we were actively planning our first event when that game was announced, and then the game came out after our first event had taken place. So it was like the same time. It was just like similar ideas in a virtual world and a real world happening in separate buckets.
Well, it's such a good idea because how do you get people to the track that might not be interested in a track day,
right?
But once they're there, it's a thing to watch. You know what I mean? Like during the day, like at Gingerman, like you'd see folks up on the hill that are clearly not like race fans,
right?
But like they're there. They're there to see the music.
A good time.
A good time is a good time. You've got the merch alley or whatever you call fucking gypsy alley over on the side.
Right.
And, a tent city is an opportunity for a party always.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's just like our goals overall, like in anything that we do. And we're best known for the festivals, right? But next year we're going to have 14 events on our calendar, right? Between just single track days and 2-day track days and Motorsports only events and the festivals, and then not to mention like we do esports stuff now. So like our whole goal is just to take and get people closer to motorsports and take the car curious and turn them into car enthusiasts, or at least give them the opportunity to do so, right? So like I think.
Have you had people say, hey, the first year I was here with a Volvo and a tent to see a band, and now I'm back with a track car?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So like, I mean, there's case studies where, and that's the reason why facilities like Gingerman work so well for what we do, because we don't like to divide stuff up, right? So we don't like to put drifting in a parking lot over there.
Right.
We want to put drifting on the circuit so that the track guy can see how an initiation happens at turn 1 and be like, click, we're the same, sort of. Yeah. And that's why we put the car show right next to the paddock. So like, we had one guy, he doesn't drive with us anymore just because he like credit carded himself out of existence.
I can see how that could happen. Yeah.
But entered the car show with a 350Z. Paddock right across from the car show was someone running the track day with a 350Z. And he's like, and then he just kind of started marching that path. Yeah. So it's just being able to like try to break down some of the tribalism that just happens naturally amongst the car community. Like that's a thing.
But also turning your car on is also a thing at Gridlife, where we have partners that come out and, over repeat coming to our events, they've gone from static cars in a display to turning their car on and getting on track, because it's to see a paddock or a paddock activation that isn't operating is strange at Gridlife,
right. Yeah, to not see cars moving in and out. And that's like kind of the thing too, right? Like stylistically, stuff ebbs and flows, but Cars in Motion really doesn't go out of style.
I've spent a lot of time at Gridlife driving around paddocks. I really have.
Right.
Mainly because you guys let me park anywhere that I want. You guys are like, yeah, you can pretty much just park anywhere that you want. So I'm like, good. I'm going to drive places.
Just don't block that person. Or just don't block people.
You drove around in the tiny blue van.
That's right. I gave you the keys to the blue van. Yeah, I gave you the keys to the van.
It was such a fun way to watch the event from you driving that car around.
Yeah. No, I mean, I felt like that was an important thing to do. I also, at Road Atlanta, drove around in a fully stanced Lexus LS 400.
Right.
Which I thought because otherwise, just for me to just drive cars on the track, you don't see what's going on in the paddock, and so it felt like an important thing to show. Plus, like K-Vans rule.
They do.
Also,
they do.
That's the speed it goes.
that's just what it does. Right. Yeah. It is. That's what you get.
Yeah. For those, it's an Acti, right?
Acti.
It's a Honda Acti City, which if you took my Mitsubishi Delica and did I didn't know you had a Delica. Yeah, my wife drives a Delica.
Man,
it rules.
That's on my list.
Yeah, it'll be at Radwood on the 20th.
Okay,
and it's like a 2/3 scale Delica, maybe even half. It's a little bigger than half. Probably 2/3 scale Delica. Yeah, it's fucking little.
Yeah,
nice. It rules though.
Yeah,
you still have that thing?
What? Yeah, yeah. We have the Acti. It's
workhorse.
Yeah, it's kind of our workhorse. So we tried. We've got a Daihatsu deck van as well. So those are kind of our golf carts for the key players.
Yeah, it's like a golf cart, but a little. It's just a little bit more than a golf cart.
A little bit more than a golf cart. Yeah. You can roll the windows up. It's got wipers. So those they're kind of staples. We got little flashing lights that go on them.
Oh, nice. So we can
that's
money.
It's like an official joke rolling around.
No, safety lights are very important.
Right.
You got to have that. You need an air horn on that shit too.
Right. That's how you get deep into Tent City. You know, as soon as you got a yellow light,
you're official now.
Yeah, that's how you can get deep in. I hope nobody catches on to that.
Yeah. Do you have a trailer for it? You need a little trailer though for that thing. That's how a party trailer.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, if you had a single car trailer and put a beer pong table on it or something, like a mobile party trailer.
We do have
sweet.
We do have a concept. We have
you might have solved a couple problems we have with that idea right there.
We do have a concept we have a truck one that our friend Matt Bengry owns that he brings when he works with us. And the concept was to have punk bands that set up on it and it'd be pop-up punk shows. So,
that's a good idea.
The little van rolls up and the drum kit's on the truck bed. It flips down and
Foo
people
Fighters
pop out.
just did that.
Yeah, and then you get a 15-minute. You get a 15-minute set, and then the truck just moves on to another part of the venue.
That's a whole album.
That's a whole.
That's 15 tracks.
It's a double album. Right.
I like that. I like a mobile stage.
Right. Yes. I mean, I think our goal is always just to add more little moments of surprise and delight and stuff like that throughout the Gridlife experiences. So that's one that's on the list. We got a whole whiteboard of dumb shit to do.
And some of the artists that you've had at the festivals have been extremely legit. I mean,
all that stuff's moving up too. I mean, I think Alpine was a really good example of that. Although this probably shoots a little bit younger than me even, but we had
there's a lot of DJs and stuff and electronic people that I don't really understand.
Right.
But I can tell they're good to do drugs too.
Right.
I know good drug music when I see it.
Right. Yeah. But the big hit this year was we did almost all hip hop at Alpine in Colorado. So we had Lupe Fiasco night one, which was dope, and then we had Suicide Boys on Saturday. And then they released the album they released a week after the festival, straight to #1.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw Ludacris at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, Ludacris at Road Atlanta.
Where he rolled up in that Sprinter van. And wasn't it there was some sporting event going on that night too?
The boxing.
Yeah.
It was a Floyd Mayweather. Yeah.
And that was the key. It's we got to be out of here before Mayweather. And then we had it
That's why
playing.
He didn't finish his set.
It was to watch the boxing.
Yeah, right.
Luda.
Yeah. He also didn't finish his rider, and it was comprehensive.
We built an entire room, and then we had to move it last minute because he wanted his Sprinter van to go right behind stage.
That's right. Yeah, we had a whole room built out, specific candles, specific towels,
really the whole
Japanese
shit.
Fighting fish in a bowl. And
yep.
He didn't. You're fucking around. The Japanese fighting fish in a bowl.
There was some detailed stuff.
That's hilarious.
I don't run the details of that. We
could probably go on the Smoking Gun and look up Ludacris's rider. Is that website still around? The Smoking Gun. That's where all the tour riders were.
Yeah.
That's where the Smoking Tire came from, by the way.
Really?
In 2009. I was really into the Smoking Gun.
There was a lot of stuff on the
Smoking Gun. And I just was
Gun.
what about that for cars? And that's where I actually got the name from. All right, so let's go on to Smoking Gun. I'm going to look at
Ludacris's
I
rider.
don't remember if
They
it
have
was
it.
Waka Flocka
They do?
or Ludacris, but one of them definitely had a Japanese fighting fish in the rider.
I think Waka came on site, didn't even go in the room, the green room that we prepared for him, and then like allowed us to drift cars around him and just hung out.
Yeah, he showed up and he just started talking about Pokemon with kids that were talking to him.
He was
Like,
playing Pokemon Go. He came onto Road Atlanta playing Pokemon Go, and he's like, "Yo, I got it." And he just like wandered off to like go catch a
He
Squirtle.
is such a good dude.
That's hilarious.
And what's
So
funny is
they-
we booked him once, and if we ever ask our audience, like, "Hey guys, who should we book for music?" It's Waka Flocka.
Really?
Every time, everyone just wants
Just 'cause
Waka
he was so
Flocka
fun?
again.
He's just hyped. Like he gets it. He's like one of those artists that like, you know, he's got like, you know, Hard in the Paint and like these kind of hip hop
goes hard
anthems,
in the paint.
you know, and then he also knows how to like blend in with like whatever type of festival he's at. So he can play EDM tracks, you know, he can just kind of mold. He's like really good at that kind of crusher of a you know, a set for the audience.
It's just a fun
You
show.
and I are more like rock people. Is there a reason that rock has not really come up in the Gridlife Festival yet?
We had all live acts at Midwest this year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so like I mean we're pushing all that stuff.
I think personally we want to see more of it, so we're hoping that younger audiences are into bands again.
I think the grand vision for it, right? It's all about scale, right? So, you know, Gridlife was birthed from the basement. You know, like it was a concept that I came up with, and kind of, Shawn and I have been friends for a long time, decade plus, and we worked together. So he helped out with the original ideas, but it was all like,
We worked in advertising together, so we just shot the shit all day already.
But originally, the reason why we did EDM was because the back lines were easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to like bring a drum kit or like have
plug-in mixer
it was
and
just a lot.
laptop
It was just a
and-
lot easier, and that was kind of
we knew some of that crowd too, though.
I actually thought I thought you were going to say that it was minimized downtime between acts, that you don't have to do a whole stage change.
we had a bunch of like, I mean, the rise of kind of peak EDM was like happening in like, 13, 14, 15, and then it like really blew up, and we just had a ton of friends in Chicago that were kind of rising through that scene too. So it was all, the first year was all people we knew. It was all our friends, and then the back lines were easier and it was of the moment, right? So we think about something that like kind of is applicable to all. At that time, it was like Bloghouse and Open Play artists were bigger, and it's like they're going to play hits that no matter who you are, and they're going to play it in a hype way and transition it into something you don't expect. And like that was widely applicable, to start out. And then I think I really envision, I think we do as a whole that each Gridlife festival that we do has like its own feel, right? Which is why we did hip hop in Colorado. Yeah. And then for Midwest, because it was an odd year, I was like, let's book bands. And
what bands were in Midwest?
So we did the Floozies, and they're kind of like a big Colorado. They like kind of they dip into the jam band scene a little bit, but also the dubstep scene. So they're like a dubstep funk trio.
Interesting.
And then we did this group called Sun Squabby, which is similar. They're like, I guess you'd call them like electro space funk. So they're all
Disco Biscuits.
Ish, ish, and probably
that makes me sound old.
A little less druggy, right? Like a little bit more like. A little less wandering. Okay. If that makes sense, right? A little less wandering.
Fewer spacesuits.
And then for for Saturday we got lucky and got Big Boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we had Big Boy and then we had A-Track and A-Track.
That's cool. Yeah.
So it was all cool. Like it was just high on vibes.
I'm still excited about A-Track. A-Track so good.
Really?
Yeah.
Big Boy was great because we didn't know if he'd be able to play all the Outkast songs.
I mean, it was just like
he played all the Outkast.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was a great. So he comes on with Sleepy Brown, who takes Andre's spots in the songs, and like he does a good job.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, I think right now Gridlife is still one stage, right? So like if we push to get to like the scale that we want to be, it'll be kind of multiple stages with multiple genres.
How many people do you need to have to justify a second stage?
I mean, it's all relative, right? So it's like
also how much space do we have?
How much space do you have?
And then Gingerman, we don't have any more space.
It's chicken.
That's such a nice venue, Gingerman,
it is.
for that type of thing.
Yeah.
There's like the lake there, and there's like
it feels like a park.
And
I wish it had more infrastructure. So we're talking to them about that. It only has 4 flushable toilets total. So like that's a thing, right?
Yeah, I'm a little spoiled. I stay in the hotel when I go out to Gingerman, so I'm a little spoiled. I get a comfortable place to poop.
You got a place to go, right? So
I also like South Haven. South Haven's kind of growing on me.
Yeah.
Now that I discovered those restaurants on the river.
Oh yeah.
South Haven got a lot more charming.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's like kind of it's one of the like Chicago quick trips,
right.
you know. So like it's Lake Shore Town on
Southwest
Lake Michigan
is a gem.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
a lot of hidden gems.
Yeah, definitely.
So what are the other like ideal kind of where's in Midwest where you are in Colorado, High Plains or
no? We're at Pikes Peak. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and that was like kind of a serendipitous discovery because the guy who owns that, whose name is Guy, he's like a real estate guy out of did a bunch of stuff in Miami and. He ended up securing and kind of starting like buying that track with a vision to make it a multifaceted entertainment venue centered around car stuff. So they came out like
that sounds familiar for you, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, their whole team came out to Midwest Festival, like just bought tickets and came and checked it out, and then hit us up after and said, "Hey, we went to your event. We thought it was awesome. We want you to come out here and check out our facility." And I like kind of walked into that being like, we don't really do Rovals, this and that, you know, like NASCAR venue, And then went there.
You already had an idea. I was already kind of judging a book by its cover.
Yeah, being like a road race, right? Guy. And then we went there, and then it was the drive out that sold me,
Rampart Road,
not the facility. So like we flew into Denver, and then I drove out, and it's like, you know, you're riding the Front Range, you know, and it's like really, really picturesque and feels cool. You know, and then we went and saw the facility. I was like, we could put a stage here. This will work. It's got all the pieces. And then we decided to take the long way back. We took this road called Rampart Road, which is basically like a dirt path that goes from Colorado Springs all the way to Denver, like over the mountain.
Yeah,
over the mountains.
Like a fire road.
And then like at that point,
is it actually dirt?
Yeah,
it's dirt.
Yeah,
Like we started in t-shirts and ended up with like every piece of clothes we could possibly put on.
Everything we brought with us.
Nice.
But then it like kind of clicked about like, so this is about the destination, right? It's about the totality of the experience, and like this venue can be the base camp for like all these adventures that people could have outside of the facility. So that's really like kind of where we like leaned into that Horizon concept, you know, because it's like, it's not just this. It's all of it, right? It's like, come on Wednesday, do this, and this.
Like, you know, join us at the Horizon.
Yeah, right. And the way we set the stage up, it's like the stage, and just beyond it is Pikes Peak in the distance, and the sun goes down, you know, behind the stage, and it's just got this vibe. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've had the thought. Is it worthwhile to try to set up an off-road focused festival?
I mean, this event has so we did do an off-road thing with Toyota. So we built an off-road course for them, and then they brought out, you know, their four brothers and did like kind of an off-road experience, and then they have a 1.6 mile rally course. All dirt.
Awesome. It's 2 miles.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So there's so much, and then we did like kind of these off-grid excursions. That's cool. Know, so you like meet, you know, at the front of the facility, and then you've got a guide that like takes you out all day, and then you get back for the concert.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
You know, so like that kind of stuff.
That sounds good. Yeah.
I mean, it's all just about trying to like look at the new stuff that we do to be adaptable and different, so that you've got reason as a part of the community to be like, I want to go to this. I'm going to check out Colorado this year. I'm going to do both.
What was one of the
different?
Some of
the
is
a little bit of a nod to Forza Horizon from earlier.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure. Especially if there's a dirt element as well, for sure.
Yeah, Forza's leaning real deep into dirt stuff now.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun.
They're following the trends of everything else.
Yeah, they are following the trends.
Now,
of
like
else.
You know, you've got mass-produced quote hypercars. They're way too fast for public roads.
That's right.
And, you know, the desert and the wilderness is sort of the last place you can drive really fast, and you can get a lot of, you know, these side-by-sides, you know, $25,000.
Right.
You know, you're sailing over stuff, and you're going as fast as you can go, and so that's sort of the new frontier in motorsport and in recreational sports driving.
100%, yeah.
You know? What is some of the stuff from, like, the earlier festivals that went like not necessarily went horribly wrong, but you were like, yeah, that didn't work?
I mean, I think we're pretty calculated in our risks. Shawn, you got anything?
I had kind of a joke comment, but I was going to say Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah. Okay. So the hardest part is, Atlanta, like towards the end, and without getting too much into the details of it, but that was a hard place to do an event because we could never get the tone right. So we were working with their security teams, and we could never get the tone right. So the tone and the police enforcement and all that stuff at that particular facility went horribly wrong.
Because you want the balance of fun and safety and whimsy.
It's all. Safety first, right? So like liability control and all that stuff is important, But like, it's a music festival, right? So like, if you go to Bonnaroo, you go to a Coachella, like the escalation path is like in the background, right? It's not. They're not like. No one at those festivals is actively seeking a confrontation,
right?
So like that was the biggest challenge.
It was very start at 11. Like every interaction starts at dial to 11, and then you got to bring them down to 4.
Starts here, and then you got to crank them back down.
Oh, I see.
Really
it's like they wanted our young audience, but they don't like young people.
Yeah, it's like hey, bring the kids. How these kids get here? Get these kids out of here.
These guys have modified exhaust systems.
Yeah.
So and there's we're pretty calculated in like what we put energy into, and Shawn and I being from kind of advertising land, we think about it strategically, and then like we think about it executionally before we do any of it, right? So it gets sketched out. Like it looks like we're winging it, and we're winging some stuff, but it's a calculated winging it,
right? Well, I remember being there one year and hearing someone talk about that, and because I was the old guy already, it didn't really apply to me.
Right.
But I could definitely see that being a problem if you're if they're expecting mature, IndyCar fans and not a music festival. It's a different thing.
I think they were expecting that from the get-go, but like prepping for battle from the start.
That's a problem.
So it was just like they were like, we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
Keep them quiet. Like
guys, that's not really what we're doing right now.
That's not really what we do. So like that's like kind of the thing that, and we've gotten better at that type of stuff too, right? Like I think when I look back at like 14 and 15, I was like, how did we even do this? Like, how did I keep these kids safe?
Yeah.
Like based off of all the stuff that we know now. Like now it's really challenging for us to come in a budget capacity, right? Like there's so many things that we like have to have. Like the box office team has to be this big, the security team has to be this big, the amenities and the amount of like fencing we bring in like has to be this. So it's like as we scale up, all that stuff has gotten smoother, and things that probably people didn't really notice maybe, back in 14, 15, it's like it feels like chaos to me in hindsight.
I like to always look back at like, how did we get the stuff there and back, and where did we put it when we got back?
100%.
That's the biggest evidence of progress.
Big time.
Because now you have like a semi truck full of stuff, and like
not
like
quite, but
Chris was running it out of his basement, literally in garage, and I remember Chris was so excited when he bought just pallet racks from
I had shelves.
Home Depot.
I got shelves.
He's like, I've got shelves. This is next level. He was so excited for shelves.
Right. And I was like, look, I got this label. There's a little
way.
label on this box and a label on that box. But yeah, I mean, I live in the city of Chicago. So in a neighborhood called Logan Square, which is 3.5 miles from downtown. So Gridlife existed in my basement, while I was working at the agency, and then I had it in my garage, and then I had another 3 garages around the city. So anytime I went to an event, I would like run from garage to garage and load up 3 vehicles and like schlep it ourselves. And now we seem to be carrying more stuff, but we've got a 53-foot trailer that pulls up, and then we load it, and it's on pallets.
We don't drive it,
and we don't drive it, and then we meet it there.
That's a big difference.
And it gets there.
Ginger for 2 days after the event ended.
Just cleaning.
We left Sunday night this week.
just packing all the stuff up. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's luxury living.
Yeah, I mean, so it's all like
not having to drive the truck and trailer. We had Chris Forsberg, drift driver, on the show,
right,
like a week ago. And he was like, "Yeah, when I stopped having to drive my own race hauler, that was like the game changer."
It is, because it allows you to just put energy into other things, right? Like, so I mean, I think
that's exhausting.
It's totally exhausting, and if we keep wanting, to push things, whether it's in our motorsports programs or festival stuff, like being that deep in the weeds, it makes it really hard.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of actively what we're doing now.
How many rounds did it take you to figure out the merch business?
We're still figuring out the merch. We're still figuring out the merch business, right? So like, We sell a lot of merch at events. Like the back end side of it is still challenging. You know, like shipping stuff and housing it and all those things. So I feel like we do it different every time. You know, like we
throw darts at the wall.
We don't have someone in a back room all the time. Well, we do sort of now. Mrs. Wife Wendy is starting to take that on, but I mean, we don't have people around to do this stuff all the time. It's me, Chris, and now Kyle. We're in the office every day. Like we're in there. If something needs to be shipped, I'm going to the warehouse to figure out how to do that again.
This is a full-time job for all you guys, right?
Yeah.
How many people is it full-time?
So we are 4 full-time. We're about to. I had to be 5. Put a job offer out to our dude Charlie to come in as kind of operational muscle. He got an offer on Monday.
Nice.
So that's 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
We did put out a offer or a request for a designer, and we've got 80 something things that we have to look.
So
for.
like
that's going to be a tough one because designers are like, you know,
he's a designer.
I know. Especially if you know what you want. You're not. None of those people are going to be exactly what you want. I just know how this goes.
I've been trying to mentally do that for him.
Mentally prepare you for the garbage that you're going to be.
I know. I mean, like I worked in agency land, so I climbed that ladder, and ultimately was a group creative director and doing hiring, and it's hard. Yeah. It's hard. You know, because good designers too are probably the individuals that are on a path to be like great creative directors. Yeah. You know, so like. To hold them in like kind of that position, especially for like what we need, right? Like, like.
Are you making all new like artwork every year, or you keep it?
I redo it. We have like kind of our brand aesthetics, but like when we launch a season, we rebrand the whole thing. Yeah. So like a new coat of paint. Yeah. And every event I do all that design now.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's work.
Yeah. So and last year we had 10 events. So that's 10 different look and feels, and this year we got 14.
That's a lot.
That's another 4. I'm I'm running out of purples, guys. I'm running out of greens.
Your printers must love you too.
Right.
When Gridlife started in the earlier years, it was very like Honda focused. Yeah. I think that was because it was partially born from like a Honda
and
forum or something, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that, and Adam probably hit on this a bit, but like basically the quick version of it, because it can get lengthy, is I was a Honda kid, owned a CRX, and I met Adam, who's the co-founder, not here this week because he's not a SEMA dude. But we met because I was like doing parts runs and running up to Canada and getting B-Series motors and bringing them back down to Michigan. And there was a white Civic parked in a parking lot, and I left a note on it. And that's how I met Adam. Yeah. So then we used to go to this event called the Niagara CRX meet because we were into CRXs and EF Hondas. And then we created a forum called EF Honda, and then started like
you guys made the forum.
We owned the forum.
I didn't realize you made the forum.
Yeah, so we owned the forum, and then we did like a meet for Hondas like at a park. Right, and then we started all getting into road racing and autocross, and then we found out you could rent the racetrack, and the racetrack happened to be Gingerman. So we rented it on a Monday.
Because that's how racetracks make money.
Yeah, right. I had no idea. Yeah, like I think at that point, I did a couple of events. So I did a BMW club event with a clear taillight CRX.
Yes.
And then I did a NASA event. And neither of those like felt like my event, like I felt pretty foreign in both of those experiences, and I like wanted to get into racing, but like both of those were like, and then I went to the ITR Expo, and I was like, even that, like that was the ITR, the ITRs were pretty new at that point. This was like 2006, so even that was like, felt premium, and then, I don't know, I think I did one other track day. And then we just like rented the track, like after that. So like we're just kids, and we rented it on a Monday and like invited all of our other immature children car friends, So we're like in our early 20s,
home,
and then we like,
we can be grimy,
and then we fumbled through that, and then I think one year, like year 3, the event fell on July 5th. So that was like a day that everybody had off. It was a Monday, and we had like a ton of people that came out to the event in year 3. And then the next year we grabbed the weekend, and then the camping culture started to come in, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and we were like carving
and
out.
this is Western Michigan Honda.
Yeah, West Michigan Honda Meet was the name of that event. So it was Honda-centric track day, and we like kind of just organically grew this younger demographic of track-oriented, car community. And
it's
then
neat. The
it's
Hondas,
20 years now.
It's
right?
still like
more than that.
the fastest like Hondas that I see are always at Gridlife. Like
yes, yeah.
the cars that are like, wait, this guy's got like no turbo. It's just like an S2000 with a wing, and he's running like insane lap times.
Our drivers are
Some of those hatchback guys are nuts.
Yeah, our drivers are fast.
Yeah,
So like, and I think like it's weird because we're a pretty ego-free environment too, right? So like typically, maybe not typically, but that motorsports can be in pretty ego-heavy world.
That's fair.
Yeah, and everybody like supports each other and tries to make each other faster, even though they're competing. So like, I don't know, I'm really proud of our community and kind of the speed that our drivers find, with each other.
The respect that you see, the camaraderie, the hugs, the just people high-fiving, or if there's an incident on track, just genuine concern for the other person.
I've always found it to be a very, considering we're talking about racing cars, the level of testosterone was always pretty in check. It never got like super macho.
It's by design too on the back end. So like those are the things that we think about, right? Like, and we don't like push it forward, but like I'm actively thinking about this experience and how people interact with each other and how we tonally communicate to them. It's like the same reason why we don't do things like Grid Girls and other stuff. We like try to pull all that like corny stuff out, and like baseline it so that like we're setting like the right foundation for like good moments, friendships.
Well, it's just artifice. It doesn't. It's just grid people just sitting around in little outfits doesn't really add to anything except like
they don't even like
hover hand photo.
They don't even like let you do it anymore in a lot of professional sports.
Right. Well,
I don't say let you. I worded that wrong. And the way I said it, it was almost like we can't say this anymore. I don't mean that. It's probably better that they don't do it.
No, it's out of fashion, right? And that's like kind of following the our thoughts about it.
Partner with the ASPCA or whatever.
Grid dogs.
Grid dogs. You're gonna see it. So we're gonna do that.
Dogs would be sweet.
If there was puppies at this Valvoline booth, it would be crazy right now.
If you could get adoptable animals at a Gridlife, I think that would be
that's
a
one
nice
of the
next
that's
step.
one of the whiteboard
Is
ideas.
it?
Yeah,
Adoptable animals?
It's like we partner with the local shelter.
Yeah.
We have them bring out we do like a fan walk for GFTC and stuff, and like bring the puppies out.
You get
and,
a puppy for the weekend.
Yeah.
Who's gonna give it back? I mean, come on.
Yeah, right. You take. Yeah. So
I just opened a
lost
cat
mine. Can I
cafe
have
in my hood.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you go and I think it's like a $30 donation or something, and you get to play with all these cats, and they've got coffee and stuff, and they're all adoptable. Seems like a good way to spend an afternoon.
Yeah, it's cuddly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Especially for someone like myself, I enjoy a good snuggle with a kitten.
Right.
I can't go though because I want to take them all home.
Right. And then you end up with too many cats.
I went once and I was like, I can't hang out here. I'm gonna take all these fucking cats home. Be a real problem with the house.
I want to hear that podcast.
I got 4, man. I already have 4 cats.
Wow, that's a lot of cats.
My Instagram is like a third cats. It's fine. No shame about that. I even have to warn people in the bio.
I have 1 cat.
This is about cars. Fuck you, it's not. It's about cats with the side of cars.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad they're giving away the aluminum cups?
I think they're
They
kind of
sound
cool.
great.
They're a big hit. These are kind of dope. I mean, they look like a red Solo cup, but
it's aluminum.
stamped out of aluminum. And
Very
Valvoline
recyclable.
booth here at SEMA.
I'm gonna find out where they get them.
For a quarter of a penny or whatever these fucking things cost, it seems like a pretty good value. Ball. The brand is Ball.
Yeah, just like those mason jars. They make the...
Yes. Like I want a mule of some kind.
A Moscow mule.
Yeah, not a Moscow mule, but like a Vegas
mule?
A Vegas mule.
What's in that?
Cocaine.
Everything.
There's definitely some Vegas mules on Fremont.
Mysteries.
And it's expensive.
Saw a couple
but it gives
Vegas
you
mules
nothing.
when I was down there the other day.
Have you guys? Were you guys here yesterday?
We came in.
Yes.
We came in on Saturday.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
we haven't. We got here like 20 minutes before. We just got here and all we did was set this up and eat a terribly disgusting gyro. And what have you guys seen at SEMA that's worth talking about? Anything interesting?
I haven't actually walked the floor because we've been building the booth for the first time, right? So like we've gotten really good at like kind of navigating the intricacies of like how to get around here and like get stuff shipped in and things of that nature. So I've got some expertise there that I didn't have beforehand, but I haven't even been out front. You know, I will say like it's a lot leaner being that it's tail end of a pandemic and this hasn't happened in 2 years. Yeah. But I'm not mad at it. It's like easier to navigate.
I'm glad the density is down a little bit.
Yeah.
A little,
right. Because I think with all honesty, like I probably wouldn't. I feel relatively comfortable, and I was concerned that I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel comfortable up here on this booth because we're like 10 feet back from everybody.
It's true.
I thought we'd have a little more Lexan. I asked for like a lot of Lexan. I thought we'd get like side Lexan. We just got this one bank teller spit shield. We're elevated and like now the giveaway stuff is down like 10 feet away.
That's a lot of high touch.
So we don't have to. Hi guys, our friend Jennifer, Nicole, and Vinny are here. We're recording right now, but you can come to
Cynical stuff.
Huh? We have to. Jen is in the house. We'll see you later tonight, maybe. Are you around? Yes, Valvoline, and then we'll be around. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know why it's a big deal? Because we're going to Lotus of Siam. That's why it's a big deal. Nom nom nom. The best.
Exactly.
You been? It's delightful. Yeah. It's very good northern Thai.
Yes.
The short rib cow soy is what's up. It's the best. So excited we're doing that tonight.
We always end up at La Thai, which is like fine.
Just fine?
It's good. It's good.
If you come to Vegas and you pretend like the strip doesn't exist, you go like way out. There's really, really good Vietnamese and Thai and Chinese food in this town.
Really good tacos.
Yes. Yeah. Vegas is best served sans strip.
100%.
I mean, honestly.
100%.
Just pretend it's Phoenix.
Fair enough.
Pretty much.
No, yeah, like kind of the outskirts have always been
like Old Vegas.
Old Vegas is cool.
Old Vegas is cool. Fremont Street, which I did last time I was here, I found actually to be quite enjoyable.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yep. There's that side strip of like hipster bars, like craft cocktail bars that are like really good.
The strip, there's no standalone business or restaurant or bar. It's all inside of something huge.
I know. It sucks. And the scale is way off. You're like, oh, it's just across the street. It's like, that's a 40-minute walk, sir.
Over a bridge, under a tunnel, through one casino, over another bridge.
Have you taken the Tesla tunnel yet?
No. Where is it?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to do it. Well, I have to do it while we're here.
Right, yeah.
Because it's just so unbelievably stupid that I can't not do it.
It's a novelty.
It's Teslas in a tunnel.
Right.
Being driven by people.
Are they being driven by people?
Yeah. Of course they are.
Okay. Maybe I can skip. You just tell me how it is.
I can tell you how it is now. Fucking boring and stupid. Like a train, but way less efficient.
I feel stupid. What is the tunnel for? Where does it go?
It's for extracting money from the city of Las Vegas into Tesla's bank account. That is what it's for. Yeah. And for giving people test drives in Teslas. That's all it's in a tunnel.
It's connected to the West Hall, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be, some kind of mass transit system, but it's substantially less efficient than even the least efficient mass transit system. It's about as efficient as a single escalator.
Okay.
It's really...
I got up here. How do I get down?
It is pure and simple money extraction from the city of Las Vegas.
Well,
it's a fucking full-on scam. But anyway.
We're talking about it.
I guess. Yeah. We're talking about how stupid it is. I guess if all press is good press, then sure.
There you go.
Any aspirations for international growth? I mean, obviously, pandemic would have put a stop to that if you wanted to. But
yeah, I mean, I think
Canada maybe.
Canada for sure. I mean, I think like.
I forget that's international.
The moment we're in right now is kind of a moment of automation, I guess, where we've got our formula, right? Like we've got these motorsports products that are all really strong, from our touring cars to the Time Attack series. We've got festival properties that are well anchored. So we're kind of looking at 2025 and marching backwards to build out community regions and get kind of coverage across this continent.
So you guys don't have to personally be at every single event?
Yeah, so we've got 14 events next year, and kind of the goal is that at 8 of them, we will have full team. At 10 of them, it'll be Adam or I. And then at 4 of them, we've got like smaller teams, right? And like that's the goal.
We've been talking about the festivals, but we kind of glossed over the other stuff. We've got the time attack, which is what it sounds like. And that's cars on track against the clock, best lap time.
7 classes, largest by volume in North America.
Youngest.
Yeah,
youngest in terms of competitor, the participant ages.
Sorry, that's across all of our motorsports. And then our fastest growing one is the Gridlife Touring Cup. So that's a proper wheel-to-wheel series that's aimed to kind of rebirth, club racing. So that is it's a single class. We don't do multi-class racing. It's a single class series, and that's based off of a power to weight ratio.
Okay.
And that is rushing right now.
In terms of entrance, in terms of spectators, in terms of what?
All of it.
Quality of the racing.
Quality of the racing. So
what does a race look like?
A race, we do 15-minute sprints. Versus what's the best part of racing? Start and the finish.
Start and the finish.
The start and the finish.
Yeah.
So we do.
It's also the best part of any drive.
Yeah, about anything. So we do 4.
All the fucking cannonballs. It's like the first half hour and the last half hour are really exciting.
Every road trip ever.
30 hours of boredom in the middle.
So it's a single class. It's built off of a 12.5 to 1 power to weight ratio. So that's kind of
12.5.
So that's the sweet spot, right? So the pointy end.
That's like a reasonable car,
reasonable car. Yeah,
that's not like insanely fast.
This year, the champion was a C5 Vet. Last year was an EG Civic K-swapped. The front runners, when you're looking at the front, you've got a Cayman, C5 Vet, an EG Civic, K-swapped Miata, and an S2000, all battling for the front.
Yeah, I mean that's a fun race. That's a good race to watch.
Right?
Yeah,
it's inspired
4 times a day.
Yeah, so
4 races a day.
4 15-minute races a day.
And then there's qualifying as well?
So practice, qualifying, and then we break it up into 4 15-minute heats. And then the results of the finishing of those 4 equals the champion for the weekend. But we also kind of remix the way that those are seeded throughout the weekend.
Okay.
So the first race is seeded by qualifying time. That's how it's gridded. The second one is gridded by fastest lap time of race 1.
Oh, okay.
Right. The third race is gridded by finishing position of race 2.
Okay.
And then the fourth race, we take 25% of the field and we draw a random invert.
Oh.
And we flip it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say reverse grid.
Yeah. So we don't do a full reverse grid. We do a reverse grid of 25% of the field. It's based off of like kind of what's the pointy end.
25% of the field. How does that?
The fields have been stacked. We've got 45 to 55 car fields, single class.
Oh, it's a lot of fucking cars. There's a lot of cars in a 15-minute race.
Yeah. So
it's exciting.
and then usually we look at it's 25% generally. So Adam's
standing start or rolling start?
Rolling start.
Okay.
So rolling start, and basically we look at kind of the front runners, and when the seconds, for your mid pack, start to drop is where the end of the end starts. Right? So we're not going to put someone that's 15 seconds slower than the leader in the lead, necessarily. So, but I think the most impressive thing about it is we put a massive emphasis on the cleanliness of our competition and the cleanliness of the race. So it's a no contact series, and I don't have the number, but I mean we've run 60 plus races amongst that since the series inception, and we've never really lost a lot of cars, right? Like we don't have incidents, we don't have impact.
That's impressive. I mean, if you're running
it feels
a
like
55
chaos.
car
It feels
field,
like chaos, but
you gotta expect there's going to be contact. I mean, even accidental contact.
Yeah, the kind of the messaging that we push is we expect perfection, right? And then the way that we scrutineer it too is relatively unique because it's peer-based scrutineering.
I guess everyone's running video cameras, right? Are they
Everyone's
required
running video
to?
cameras. We have data that we keep in every car, and then we balance stuff out and do the BOP, based off of kind of the data that we collect with our solo units and other various forms.
How are you able to tech a power to weight ratio?
They have to submit a dyno,
Oh,
and
they
then we
do?
weigh them on site.
Okay.
Yeah, and next year we will own our dyno.
Oh, so you're gonna have a
Bring it with
dyno
us.
there?
We'll
so,
be there,
So
yeah.
you're gonna are you gonna check every car? Or are you gonna randomly draw?
We are going to check cars when we basically like
check them once they win to make sure.
basically
it's legit.
yeah. So like we're not trying to crack the whip in that capacity, right? Like we want to breed honesty within the community, and it's
Right.
been effective thus far.
Well, that's
So-
what they at NASCAR races and shit. They check the winning car.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like that's
Yep. You have to pass tech to.
Yeah, I mean that's a more time efficient way than checking every dynoing
Every
55 cars a weekend. That
Right.
sounds
No
like a real job.
The coolest thing about GLTC is that we've got we've kind of have the goal of building like an ecosystem. So we live streamed every event this year. So full production live stream. We work with Specialty Field, who is I think it's Magic in the Hoonigan world is his nickname. But point being is that we've got a lot of really strong shooters that come out to shoot the events and cover it for us. So we usually have like 9 cameras, do like a fully
drones.
announced, fully produced.
That's pretty cool.
You know,
At least 2 drones, actually.
yeah, at least 2 drones. So it's like we're presenting grassroots motorsports as close to IMSA as possible.
Yeah.
And we do that for every round. So
That's a fucking to do.
that's what we invest in.
A real to do.
So we're
yeah.
trying to build like this ecosystem that supports that type of club
Do you have to
racing.
get satellite time for that? Because the tracks are in the middle of nowhere. How can you can stream like?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's
Internet
hard.
is
It's
hard
hard.
to come by.
The internet can be very challenging
Especially
at certain
Gingerman.
tracks, and we run fiber. We run physical fiber around the track. These aren't like everyone's like
You
oh,
run a
what?
cable the whole way around the track?
Glass wrapped in rubber.
Yeah. So,
Seriously?
Yeah.
So people they're like, oh, wireless cameras. But wireless cameras, when you have a bunch of them running and people pull their cell phones out and you got drones in the air,
Yeah.
like that, there ain't no guarantees there.
Yeah,
so
it's
we
a
run
disaster.
physical fiber just like IndyCar does.
That's so gnarly.
That's been like the festivals are like a big to do, right? There's a lot of moving pieces to that, but the live stream's been the biggest investment is like putting eyes on our motorsports products and like trying
Where
to
do
get,
people watch that?
on our YouTube.
Just on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah. So we've got race recaps too of every race. So we we do long streams. It's like it's got Time Attack and then the GLTC races. So the streams are like 4 or 5 hours, but then we break them up by race.
that's
so you
great.
can like watch a race weekend and then we do a highlights, which is basically the whole race weekend in like 4 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real production.
It's a real production.
Serious production.
Yeah. So
It is a 100% pro production.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, we're really proud of that. So that's been a ton of energy. We've kind of organically built that, just like everything else. We tried one round and then added stuff to it. And Matt from Specialty Field has, basically built that with us. Side by side.
Yeah.
And built out streaming capabilities within his company. And we've worked on
That's crazy.
perfecting it around our product.
Is the drone like the FPV? Like they
We
use
do
the drone?
Yeah, we've
FPV,
got all,
and then
like they do with drifting?
and then
Yeah.
the blimp drone that's kind of always capturing high shots. And
Yep.
Oh, is it an actual blimp?
No, I just call it like it's
Oh,
like that
just
blimp
that-
shot.
that overhead, yeah.
Yeah,
that
it's
overhead shot,
named
yeah.
the blimp, but yeah. So the
Why don't they have that? Why don't they have
What happened to blimps?
I mean, it really seems like a RC blimp would be a good thing to
right.
do, right?
I'm going to talk to Specialty Field Matt about that.
Yeah, about
And-
getting a blimp.
Yeah,
Little blimp,
have you
little
thought
baby
about
like
a
a
blimp?
mini,
Maybe
mini,
it blows
mini
around
blimp.
too easy. I don't know.
Maybe, but it seems like if you weren't using the batteries
That much,
to
yeah.
float, you were just using them to move, it would
think you're onto
last a
something,
long
yeah.
time.
It's the second really good idea. you've
Maybe
had
it's
to
just
do.
like having more batteries is just more cost effective.
right. Yeah, I know. In coverage stuff, right? Road America was our finals this year. That's a big.
You ran fucking fiber around Road America?
We didn't, right? We ran we ran fiber around a lot of it.
on
Yeah.
on the inside, probably.
So
right on the
we
infield.
we had Stream Central was at turn 5, right? So that's
That's
basically
the 90-degree left-hander.
it's end
up the hill, right?
end of the big straight,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then we ran fiber up to the tower and then up to turn 1. And then we ran fiber up
Down towards
through
the
Speedville.
past Canada corner, right? Yeah,
But we
yeah.
didn't. Canada corner was covered by a drone, right? So then.
But the little over cresty deal there, right?
Yep, yeah. And then so we got turn.
Road America
There was
rules.
one blind
It's so
spot.
good.
It's so good.
We had a lot of drone coverage on the back half, right? So basically that was watching them run that because to do a whole race, they'd have to do a battery swap
Oh,
in the middle of it. So they got to land it or send another one up. So I don't know. We're doing a lot with with what we got.
Yeah, but
know?
that's impressive. It's it's a good logistical dance.
Yeah, so like we try to do.
We did the NOLA event was drone only.
The NOLA event was drone only. That was a different team.
Did that work?
It worked. It worked. Yeah, it worked. It worked for the context of like being able to announce to it, you know, and play by play. It certainly isn't as dynamic as like some of the other tracks.
Yeah, I mean you need ground level cameras to really show speed.
Yeah.
It's like Formula One in the last few years. They've changed a lot of their angles to
Down.
be more low to show the
So you
speed.
can feel it, make it more cinematic.
Yeah. It's a good strategy, I think.
Yeah. So I think the big pushes for next year is we're trying to figure out how to make time attack interesting, right? So
watch.
So time attack.
That's the hard part about time attack.
In the depths of it, right? Like it's kind of an engineering nerd sport, right? You need a lot of context to understand things, and it's like when someone like Ferris, who has that twin turbo Corvette, comes and runs, a 204 at Road America, and you're like, hey, guess what? An LMP1 car, this car that looks like a spaceship, is pretty much the same as this car. Then people get it, but you have, there's so much explanation that's needed. But the reality is, if somebody's on like a flyer and they're pushing, if we're able to like focus on that one driver, we can comment to the drama of that drive, whether it's a Honda Fit or a super fast Corvette.
I think making time attack an interesting spectator sport has always been a challenge.
We're gonna try and crack it. We got some ideas. So
There's something so binary about wheel to wheel racing. Like you're in front of me, I gotta get by you. You know, like
I know who's winning.
I think the groups that do the best job of like kind of building excitement around like a single car in a single moment is like Goodwood Revival does a pretty good job when they do their like single lap time attack format, and then like Bathurst Shootout.
Sure. Or Formula One qualifying.
Formula One qualifying is a great example.
Qualifying is a pretty good example.
Sector times or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know how they're comparing in real time.
It still takes a bit of context. Like you have to know, like someone's got to explain, oh, this is what's happening here.
Yeah.
You know, so like I don't know if you'll ever get through that with time attack stuff, but that's the big nut we're trying to crack for next year. Is like we want to make time attack exciting to watch.
Are you trying to push people or not push but encourage people that are into time attack to try the touring car series as well, or is it? I
don't know if we
want to run wheel to wheel and people who don't want to run wheel to wheel.
I think that's always like a stigma, right? Like, so like when you enter into like kind of the motorsports world, right? You're like, oh, track day, you know, like, and there's probably some worry about like ruining your car at a track day, but you break through that and then you get comfortable, right? And then you're like, oh, maybe time attack would be cool. I want to see what I do, you know, like after you get past the like anxiety of like breakage and wrecking your car, or if you do that and then get over it, you know, a couple times, right? Then you're like, all right, and then you're working on getting faster, right? So then time attack makes sense, right? And then some people want to run wheel to wheel and some people don't. So we're not a ladder, right? Like we're not pushing people through. We're like trying to create experiences that are, you know, nothing is lesser necessarily. Like GLTC is a more exciting product from an external observation, you know, but like we're trying to keep them weighted the same from an experience perspective. You know, so like I don't know if we're not really ever pushing anybody to anywhere, but we certainly are considering the individuals that are here and how they might make it here, and making sure that like the financial and effort path is rational. You know, to move from one to the other.
Can people for Touring Cup?
Yeah, Gridlife Touring Cup, GLTC for short.
Can people run full on race cars, like non-production based cars?
Yeah, you can run anything as long as you are within the power to weight of the rules, right? So like,
if I went and bought like I don't know, just throw it out there, a cup car. You know, could I like? So actually, that's a bad example because it's a production-based car. But let's say I bought a Radical and I went put it with a massive restrictor, so it made less power.
That's exactly how you get there. Right? Yep. So I mean, like a Radical-like thing. And I want to make sure that I'm not as deep in the rules as like Adam is with like intricacies like this.
But like purpose-built race car is welcome as long as it's
safety and I mean I think a Radical against full-bodied car is probably like it's questionable from a safety perspective.
You probably can't run open wheel.
Right. You definitely can't. Yeah. But I mean like the way that like a C5 Corvette competes against even a K-powered Civic has the potential to make more power than the class allows.
Right.
But you can detune it, and then you can take what's called a flat torque band penalty, right? And then the other thing too is like last year, it's an open tire series too, so you could run Hoosiers, you can run a 200
Oh, it's an
treadwear.
open tire series?
We're moving to a 200 treadwear this year.
Oh, okay, that's
So
to make it a little more exciting.
Yeah, it's going to make it more.
It's funny what's happened with 200 treadwear, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a lot of shenanigans
there-
happening at the 200 treadwear mark.
Well, yeah. So the way that we're managing that is that we have a list of approved tires.
Oh, okay.
So like there's certain brands that you can run
Yeah.
and certain ones that like are still under consideration, right?
Under consideration, that's very
But the
nice.
reality is like one brand is going to rise to the top.
Yeah.
You know, so like, but there's a lot of great stuff happening in 200 treadwear right now. Like the 660 and Falcon kind of rising back up, you know, and getting back in the game has like done quite a bit. So it's great to have options.
What's going on in the virtual world right now?
So
got this thing on Thursday, right?
Got this thing on
Which
Thursday.
we're coming to.
Yep.
Game night.
So
What the fuck is going on at this? I mean, they said it's Gridlife game night, and there's going to be booze there, and I was like, okay, count me in.
Yeah.
But I
So-
have no idea what it is beyond that.
So within our community, also, we're from Chicago, right? What does it do in Chicago? It snows, right? So we have a lot of our drivers that run in iRacing, and we have a really active and strong iRacing group that we do like series, you know, in the off season, and essentially for game night, what we did was we did a 3-round series to qualify our regular drivers or anyone who wanted to drive, and find 16 finalists. And then we've got 2 sims in our booth, and we're going to take the 16 that qualified remotely, and then find 8 people here at SEMA, and then we're going to do a full Esports announced broadcast race of those
cool.
16 versus the 8.
Where is that happening?
At Esports Arena.
At the
Esports
That's the
Arena.
party.
HyperX Arena
So
in
at
the
10,
Luxor Hotel.
at 10 o'clock, that's the marquee event.
Do we know what track and car the?
Yeah,
what
they're
is
going to be
it?
running the new 911 in iRacing, and we're going to be running at Road Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So that's the race.
Going back virtually.
So SEMA versus the Gridlife All-Stars,
Yeah,
essentially.
I'd like to have a go with that. That seems okay.
The venue's really cool. It's a purpose-built esports arena. So you walk in, it's just a giant 50-foot LED wall, big stage, LED lights everywhere. It's a whole experience.
And then for those that like aren't deep in the nerdery of like iRacing simulation, we rented a bunch of classic arcade games. So we've got like linked, kart world challenge games from
Daytona
like back in
USA,
Daytona
dude. You can't
USA
even
type
fuck with me in
stuff.
Daytona USA. Dude.
Yeah, we've got.
I was the king.
Virtual Racer.
Bro, I was there.
We've got the Japanese like Sega Rally that has like the actual car that you sit in.
I remember that one. Yeah.
That type of stuff. So and then we've got Mario and Andretti Pinball, which I found.
Oh, dude, me and Hannah just went to Seattle a couple weeks ago, and my wife fucking loves pinball.
Pinball's great.
Loves it.
Yeah,
and we
it's
went to the
like
Pinball
tactile and
Museum,
cool.
which they have in Seattle.
It's an art.
And you can, it's $20 to get in, and then all the machines are free.
Nice.
And you can go, and they have them ordered sequentially by year.
Oh, that's
so you
so
can
cool.
start in the middle 50s and work your way up
That's
to
so cool.
2021.
Yeah, I mean,
pinball.
Pinball's like art, like just the way that the machines are designed and the artwork that's on them and how they're thematically like.
Dude, some of them
organized.
are fucking so sick.
So good. Yeah.
What was it? Wasn't Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was like it might have been Jimmy Johnson or someone, a more current, maybe from 6 or 7 years ago, NASCAR champion has a pinball machine. I forget who it was, but you'd launch the ball and it would go up and it would do like 6 laps around this fucking NASCAR track, and then it would get shot back out. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like
Yeah,
designing pinball machines would be a great
Yeah,
gig.
it's cool how they like do those details, and especially like the modern ones that they've got. I mean, it's like what like
some of these are really weird.
It's electrified art. It's interesting.
It is. It's
There's this
super
one
cool.
machine, I can't remember the name of it. It was from the early 80s, but instead of having a flat, it's on an angle, but instead of having a flattened inclined surface, it was like a bowl.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? And it had, instead of bumpers, it had these magnets that would repel, so the ball would move around all fucking weird, like it was in space.
Right.
It was crazy. It was apparently a very rare rare machine, but I was like, I need to have one of these.
That's so cool.
They don't exist for sale anywhere,
Right,
but
right.
it was awesome. God, I love pinball.
Yeah.
I'm all about that pinball machine.
Yeah, so we've got the
Get over
pinball
there.
machine,
Sick.
and then we've got like an 8-bay Mario Kart linked thing. Yeah, so
Nice.
8 people can play Mario Kart together, or two sets of 4, and
And in the championship, we're talking about wheel and pedals simulation, right?
yes,
Yeah, driving
wheel
simulation.
and pedal, and then in
8
between
sims
that,
on stage.
Yep.
and
That's awesome.
Full simulant.
Yep, and then we've got some like free play drift bashing and in Assetto Corsa. So, like Forsberg's going to be out there, and it's Forsberg's good on the sim. But
Have you played Assetto Corsa? Do you play Assetto Corsa ever?
a couple of during pandemic we were doing a bunch of gaming stuff. So like most of our drivers run iRacing.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what they do. And then when we do stuff that's more free play, we do like a Forza because that's the easiest to pick up and play.
Yeah.
And then we found this pack that was basically like an accurate model of the highways of Tokyo.
Oh, cool.
And then they have like these car packs, which are just like these rad Japanese, variants of like skylines and all this other stuff. And then we were just doing that as like a free play where all the buddies would get
Super
in
cool.
and just like blast around the highway. And we're like, yo, meet at this parking lot.
There's this modder guy named Phoenix for Assetto Corsa
Yeah.
who made the Angeles Forest where
Right.
we go
Yeah,
film,
yeah.
and it's perfect.
Yeah,
Wow.
It is.
That's
it's
what's so
absolutely
That's what's
perfect.
so cool about Assetto.
He just came out
Yeah.
with PCH too. He did 14 miles of PCH in Big Sur.
That's so
and
good.
it's
Yeah.
incredible
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
It's so beautiful.
So that's what I think is so cool about Assetto is that there's like so much you can kind of craft the experience that you want, right? There's like toge battles and there's like good versions of like tracks and
Yeah.
it's always like evolving and breathing
Yeah.
as a community. So
Do you like the VR goggles or do you like the screens?
Makes me sick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I can't do it.
I can't
Yeah.
do it either.
They tell me they're better now, but I am not afraid to try.
They keep telling me that shit. I
Yeah.
keep getting nauseous after a minute or two with them on.
Yeah. It's like
I
the
like
same-
I like the wraparound screen. The
Wraparound screen's good.
is
Yeah, it's like I can't I can't right seat instruct anymore either.
Yeah,
so
no.
it's like the same thing.
That's
like
live video and data telemetry. How nice is it that people don't have to right seat
That's
instruct
true.
anymore?
Yeah, we
They've
haven't-
got fucking the goods now. You don't
Yep.
even have to.
Yep, yeah, we don't. Gridlife hasn't done right seat instruction. We like sunsetted that in
Oh, you guys aren't doing it anymore?
2018?
2018. We started sunsetting it.
Yeah.
And now we do observational model. So we have 3 students per 1 instructor, and then we have all of our instructors placed observing the groups, and then we do a lot of like duckling, lead and follows,
Yeah,
a ton of
okay.
classroom.
Well, that's
and
a good
then-
idea.
And then data stuff that way. We found that like while people stay in beginner for longer, and then also even like my own experience, I remember feeling pressured by the right seat instructor, right? Like
Yeah.
like I wanted to like impress them
Yeah.
or like that type of thing, especially being in the mindset
I remember being
of like,
distracted. It's like I'm trying to remember
Distracted.
driving right now, and you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to me.
Yep. So I think that like the good thing about it that we've seen is that it allows people to kind of develop at their comfort level without that pressure.
Yeah.
And then they can, they just don't feel like that. It's a little bit more like
I like
better
the,
for
the drive and
anxiety. Yeah.
debrief model.
Yep,
I
that's
like a lot
exactly it.
better.
Yep.
You know, even my if I don't have an instructor, but when I do, the instructor that I use, Kevin Madsen, this guy rules. He won't ride right seat.
Right.
He'll set up a camera, he'll set up telemetry, and he'll watch from the pits.
Yep,
And then you will go
that's-
over it and
that's-
talk about it.
that's essentially how we do it.
And it actually it I think that's a better strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's less bodies in the car,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
less risk.
Yeah.
And I think when you want to get like beginner DE experience is about comfort and knowledge, right? It's not about speed or getting faster or like extracting the performance out of your car at that point. It's about comfort, you know? So like if you want to get into like the performance side of it, that's when you're like step into intermediate when we offer like kind of performance instruction versus like
Fundamentals.
safety and
Yeah.
fundamental
Yeah, yeah,
schooling,
yeah.
you know? So it's like, it takes a little bit longer to get to that point, I think, than historically has happened with right seat stuff, but I think that's better. You end
Yeah.
up with like people who are more comfortable.
I
you know?
agree. Well, thanks for coming by, guys.
Yeah,
Chilling at the
absolutely. Thank
Valvoline
you.
booth here at SEMA. It's nice to finally get you guys on the show.
No, absolutely.
Zach went to the Pikes Peak event this year and came back
great.
glowing about
That
it.
was great.
Saying it was
Yeah.
great. I should come for that next year. I think I should make
Yeah,
the time
that's,
to come
Rowdy.
to that.
It is rowdy.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting for you to go to that after being away for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, coming to that one?
I mean, I always had such a nice time at the Ginger Man one. I just I've been busy and whatever, and I couldn't make it work the last couple of years. But it was really fun when I did go, and I had a really fun time. Not only just running the track, which I found to be, safe and fun and everything, but just, fucking around with the people in the paddock. I always found a lot of fans there who were always cool to hang out with, and it was a really good time.
Yeah, we always try to build an environment where, like, again, there's no us and them, right? Like, so it's
and raiding golf carts with all the fucking drift guys and fucking dude, party bombs
This is why I like your idea of towing a trailer that brings something with you.
Yeah,
I think that would be really fun. A party trailer,
because these
could
golf
be
carts
very
are getting
fun.
a little destroyed.
Yeah, they are getting a little destroyed. Yeah, I mean that's like a part of it. Party bullies.
Party bullies. That was what it was.
Party bullies.
So
it got to the point where we were following party bullies with T-shirts and ride-along vouchers to apologize.
Like, hey, sorry about your
breaking
table.
your table.
Oh my god!
Sorry about your campsite.
That's so funny. I think even despite the broken tables, I still think people found party bullies to be an overwhelmingly positive experience.
Yeah, no, totally. It's
Thank
really
you for destroying my property.
You just got to bring 10 extra tables.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It just needs to be. It needs to be
Here's
more
a Home Depot.
Yeah,
voucher.
we just organize it and we produce it and we have the Party Bullies VIP team.
If there was a Party Bullies vehicle and you could bring your own table and not have to break theirs.
That's it. That's the next. That's the next level. That's the next level.
It's still grid.life.
Grid.life.
www.grid.life. It's the only good use of a non.com name that I've really ever fucking heard.
I've been trying to get the .com. Someone's been sitting on it since 05.
We fucked up. Cool. Well, that's where we had a technical difficulty, but Chris and Shawn, thank you guys so much. Grid.life, all the things, festivals around the country, racing around the country, and the virtual thing on Thursday. That should be a good time. Game night.
Gridlife Official, Facebook, Instagram.
Gridlife Official on Facebook and Instagram. That's our show. See you next time. Bye.